Hi, and welcome to the fourth video. In this video we will do the game logic, or the first part of the game logic, kind of how to generate the food, how to check collisions, and also some drawing of the game. And then maybe in the next video there will be the final logic, how everything should work. So first of all, I want to show one small bug, or it's not a really big bug, but it's here in the handle key down. There is Q and big Q, and the thing is, you quit the application when you press Q, but you also want the modifier, the command button. So that we will change now. Int modifiers, and the modifiers is event modifiers, and there will be another if modifiers and command key. Like that. So we added checking if the command Q was also pressed with the Q button. So that was first thing, and second, which I must have missed, is here in the reallocate snake there is semicolon missing. So that's about the code from the last video. Another change in this video is the aquarium behind me. There used to be the fish, but they all died during last night for some reason. So I thought it would be very sad to have empty aquarium there. So now there is a screensaver. I think it's also nice. So now we can start with the game logic. Firstly, there are different ways how to approach the design, and probably if you were trying to make the game on your own, it would be better to firstly try painting one square as for the food, then the snake. You can get some feedback from that, and oh, now the screensaver died also. Anyway, and the thing is, I want to create the code here with you in a way that always when we finish a function, then the function will be finished and we don't need to change it anymore, because then it gets a bit confusing in the scrolling in the code here. So, and I also know how the function should look like, so hopefully there won't be that many tests necessary. So for that, we will start with more of the logic of the game. And first thing we need to do is checking a collision. That will be necessary for the snake when it eats its tail, and also when we want to generate the food. We don't want to generate the food on the snake. On the snake we need it somewhere else, and this all will be needed in the initialization of the game. So let's start with checking of the collision. Boolean check collision point to the. So this will be point to the. So So we will get the pointer to the point for which we want to check the collision. So it could be the head of the tail of the snake or the foot in our cases. And we will go through the whole snake for e equals 0, e is smaller than g snake dot then Goethe I'm not sure if it's HD or DH. HD. Yeah, it should be HD. So we need to declare the variable I, and if the snake blocks I is equal to the I and the X position, so this is the point of the snake, the part of the body, and its X position is equal to the point X, and similarly but for the Y, then return true, that there is a collision. Blocks Y and else if we go through the whole body, doing false. Let me think about it. Yeah, so a small thing, because we have a pointer, we need the arrow here and also here, while in this case it's not the pointer, so we can have the dot notation. Cool. So now, yeah, I think it's fine. So now we can create the part for the foot. So void generate food. So the logic will be that I will try to guess an empty position in the window, and if it's empty, then it's fine, and if it's not empty, if there is the snake, then we will try to choose a different position. So for that we will need a do while cycle. So do is the part which is done always, and then we will try the same part every time when we fail. So gfoo.x is so absolute value of a random number 0.20, and similarly for y. So the random function gives you an integer which is from, well, I don't know, something like minus 10,000 minus 100,000 to plus, I'm not sure right now. The thing is, and it's uniformly chosen. The thing is that it's negative, so I change it to positive number, and then there will be only some places where I want to place it so it's not out of the boundaries of the window. So that's why I chose 20, so it gets only in some range of the window. Maybe we can later change these values so it can appear anywhere on the screen, but for now this should be fine. And here is the while. CheckColision address of the GFood and semicolon here after the while. So we always try to find a new position for the food, and if there is a collision, then we will try it again until we find finally a good place. So basically the only problem could be if the user fills all the squares, but hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully. And if it happens, then we will have this loop which will generate the food. Always, maybe we can put some other condition here which will break the loop, but I think for now this will be good enough. And we can do the initialization of the game. Void InitializeGame. So in this part of the code, we want to allocate the snake or the body. We want to fill the body at the first movement, so where it should be placed, and we want the first direction and the first food to be generated so the user can start playing the game. So we will take snake. So at first the snake will have size 5. Snake dot capacity will be 10, and snake dot direction will be maybe 1. So the direction, we need to use the directions consistently. So that's here which direction will be which number. So it can be up is 0, right is 1, 2 is down. So I will start it with the movement to the right. And we need to fill all the other blocks of the snake, or where it should be placed in the space, and we also need the body of the snake. So firstly we will allocate the memory for the body of the snake. Point to the malloc snake dot capacity times size of point to the, and now we will place the snake somewhere. So we will create the body for e equals 0, e smaller than the snake length, e++, snake dot blocks on the ith position will be so x will be some value, and similarly for the y position. So here we need to place the snake somewhere, and so it's better to put it just on a straight line, and also we should place it kind of correctly. So if the direction is to the right, we can't place the snake to the left, because then the direction won't be valid, and also it can't be diagonal. And another thing is we want to place the snake somewhere in the middle of the game field. So maybe it will be better kind of this way. So the y position will be 10, and the x position will be from 10, 9, 8, and so on. So then it can move straight to the right. And also we need the I guess it can be in integer, or here it can be a char short for the for this small loop. And we also need to generate the food, so that can be here, generate food. And we have prepared the initialization of the game, so we can put this part of the code in the main function. Here there is the game in it, and now we finish the main loop because we have the creation of all the windows and so on. We always initialize the game. The free of the memory is here in the after the main loop finishes of the game, and then it gets initialized again. And also we free the memory in the quit game, and the quit game is the only way how to turn off the application. So now we have the game initialization, and I guess now we should draw the game somewhere. So void draw game, and we will need to draw in the draw game. There will be all the drawing going on, but also we can split all the drawings in just drawing one block of the snake, which will be because the body of the snake can be separated for the blocks, and also the food is just a block. So we will also have a function for drawing one block, and in the block drawing there will be the point 2D, so you want to draw, and it will be again the pointer to it and a pattern. Pattern is the color. There must be comma, but it can be kind of I don't know, more than just a color, but we will use just different colors, gray and black. And also the block should have some size, because we in the memory we kind of have the idea that the whole game field is just that we have just the coordinates, but for the drawing we need kind of 2D 2D blocks, because there will be a square. So for that we will need some constant of the size defined block, and it will be 16, so it matches the window nicely. So I chose the constant because I played a bit with the code and I figure out this is the nice constant for everything to be nicely visible, and the field is not too big, so that's why I chose 16. Drawing. So now we can draw a block, and the block will be, well, it's a rectangle. So for rectangle in the toolbox, we can have rect type, which is rectangle. It has the left position, it will be point X. The top position, it will be the point Y. R dot right point Y X plus K block size. R dot point Y plus K block size. So this is the left corner of the rectangle. This part is the left top corner, and then I will give it another value where should be the bottom right corner. So this seems kind of fine, but these values will be very small values if you think about it, because we have only I don't know, maybe 20 positions where the snake could be, and or in the game field, in the memory, how we use the memory of the snake game. And but for the drawing we need to always shift it with the blocks, because we can imagine everything as just the blocks kind of in the game field. So for that we also have to multiply these two parts with the block size, so we get so it's not very big square, but we need it also move the top left corner so it's a small square, and all the squares will have the same sizes. And we will fill the rectangle, which rectangle, the R, which we have, with the pattern which was given. So we can draw a block. Now let's draw the whole game. So what should be in the logic? There should be kind of draw snake. We also need to draw the food, and maybe later draw the score. So yeah, so you can go through all the elements of the snake, of the body, as you know that before from I don't know, maybe we had this part of code several times going through the snake. I is smaller than g snake dot length I plus plus draw DrawBlock g snake dot blocks I, and the color black, and we give it as a pointer, so there should be the ampersand sign. So drawing food is easy. We can just call draw block address of global food, and the color will be gray. So one small thing which we have to think about here is where we want to draw the snake and the food, and we always have to set the window where the drawing should happen, because otherwise we would draw it in the window which is now active, or kind of it can be any window. So we need to set the window where we want to do the drawing. Set port, and that will be the main window. And also one thing which we want to do is always erase everything what was there before, because this is one step of the game and we don't want the snake and the food from the previous drawing happen here. So we also have to erase rectangle in the main window, like that. Main window, and here is the I integer. The I for is for loop. G And now we can put this part of the code in the main loop. So that will be, there is this while loop. So if all the events were taken, then we will just draw the game. CheckColision, draw. So let's see how many bugs there are in the code. This is here, fine. Game logic, domain, function. Cool. I see. There is the address of the pattern, but there is just the pattern, so it must be the pointer to a pattern. Yes, and also it must be here in the declaration. So you can see it's doing something, but it does not work nicely, so it breaks quite a lot, and it's because we do the refreshing too often. So draw in the main loop here, we will put some delay. How much? So I will check how much I have here in my code. Okay, 5 will be fine. And that's code initialize the main loop here. Okay, so at least it does something. It doesn't do the blinking, but we need the snake to appear. So I'm now not sure what's the problem, but hopefully in the hopefully in the next video, when we create the updating of the game, which will be the last part, I hope everything will start working magically. So thank you, and see you in the next video. So the bug is actually very small. It's here. I need to draw the small square, so it was this part. In the DrawBlock I need to put the left corner from which I want to do the small square. So now it should work fine, and you can see the drawing function works actually fine. So now in the next video we need to do the movements and the game over sign and the score, which will be actually quite easy. So see you.